What's up, everybody? It's your boy Dave Mo. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Remember, you're blessed as can be to be here today, not because of the video, but because you're still breathing. So check it out. In today's video, I'm going to get into why I don't mess with CARMAX and why I don't mess with AFC anymore. And as always, if you're new to this channel, definitely hit that subscribe button if you're into making money with cars, into leveraging your credit, into learning about credit, and about to be real estate. If everything goes well, guys, it's a little bit for you right there. Looking at 3 properties right now. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into story time. So, a couple months ago, I'm buying cars on AFC, blah, 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 blah. I look at everything, make sure there's no potential odometer rollback. So I buy the car, boom, not a big deal. The car comes through. About 15-20 days into it, AFC puts it on. Like, if you use AFC, you know how you can watch the title and the transportation and shit like that. So AFC puts this thing on there saying, there was a title problem, odometer discrepancy. They send the title back to the seller, who then gets it rectified and sends it with like 1 day to go. I get the title. I'm looking at the title. The title now has 5,000 miles more than what was sold on the vehicle, and it was backdated to before the auction. Therefore, you've now created, whether or not it's true, but you've now created odometer rollback, okay? It's a felony. It's a federal felony. Guys, you cannot roll back titles, roll back odometers. Even if it's exempt, you still cannot roll them back. So I call AFC, hey, this is what happened, ACV. I call ACV, hey, this is what happened, blah, 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 blah. Oh, well, we don't really deal with that bullshit. It's against the law for you to to represent a vehicle as actual mileage and then show that it's not actual mileage. So we go back and forth, long story longer. We're still in the midst of trying to get it figured out. So I'm telling you guys now, if you think that you're buying cars from ACV and it says actual mileage, beware. And I'm sure it's a very, very small amount, a percentage of people that this happens to, but I'm one of them. You could potentially end up with a vehicle that you're going to sell, and you're going to get caught with the odometer rollback, okay? So that's number one. Number two, I bought a car from ACV. No issues whatsoever, straight green light. Okay, we get the car, we run and drive it, the thing's driving fine, no problem. So whenever I buy a car that's green light, I drive, that's my primary vehicle during that green light period. I want to make sure, and I got to keep it under 250,000 miles. 250 miles, I apologize. So I drive it around and I make sure that nothing's wrong with it. Either I do or Leroy does. Those are the only 2 people that I trust driving cars to actually give me any type of information on the car. And with that being said, the car was fine. Well, we had to go and put some like a lower control arm or something like that. We take it into the shop, we lift it up, lo and behold, the whole front frame is rotted out. So I was like, what? So I called them up and I'm like, hey, the frame is rotted, I could send you video, I could send you this, that, the next thing. Oh no, it's out of the arbitration period. Frame damage should not be included in the arbitration period, because you have to take it and put it on a lift. If every car you purchased that did not show frame damage, you had to go and put on a lift, you'll be spending money left and right. In this instance, it was just out of the warranty period. And not only that, we're not talking about a nick on the frame. We're talking about right and left subframe connectors where they connect are completely rotted out. I have the video, I'll put it up right now for you, okay? It's at Leroy's shop. So again, they don't want to help out. They're more concerned about their buyers. Third reason why ACV is trash, okay? Their new arbitration policy for cars under $5,000, and I have a short video about this, but their little arbitration about $5,000 vehicles. So if you greenlight a $5,000 vehicle and you buy it, okay, and you buy it, let's just say it's got a bad engine, okay? You spent $5,000 on the car. They're only going to give you 25%. So let's just say the motor's $1,000, $700 in labor, plus another $100 in fluids. Let's just say you're at an even $2,000. On a $5,000 car, 25% is $1,250. They're going to tell you, oh, well, your SOL, here's $1,250. Why is that an issue? Why is this happening? Because the people that inspect those vehicles, they know that we're only going on what they inspect. So they may hear a low-end motor knock, not really thinking anything of it, but knowing, hey, it doesn't matter. Even if they arbitrate this car, I'm still going to get paid commission on this dollar amount. Those inspectors that inspect those cars, they're commission-based. I think they do have a base salary, but they also get commission on everything that gets sold. So it's in their best interest to present those vehicles in a way that make them look really good and sellable. Before this arbitration policy was put into play, you could arbitrate the car and then they would get a ding on it. But, now when you do it, I'm sure they get a ding, but they still get on, what would they get? $47.50, a profit of $37.50 rather, because you subtract $12.50 from $5,000. Your first $1,000 puts you down to $4, $250 puts you down to $37.50. So they're still getting that money. You understand what I'm saying to you? So it's in their best interest when they're dealing with low-end cars to kind of overlook certain things. That's why, in my opinion, if you're buying cars below $5,000 because you're a dollar menu guy, don't mess with ACV. Don't mess with ACV. They do not have your back. They do not care about what it is that you have going on as a buyer. They are a company that really only cares about their sellers, okay? It's trash. It's bullshit. It's BS. It's just straight trash. Another thing with them is they give all the rights to the seller. So let's just say I buy the car. The car is represented some kind of way, right? Oh, sorry. The car is represented some kind of way. And when I get that car, it's not represented appropriately, or accurately rather. So now I'm like, hey, I don't even want this car. I don't want to put an engine in it. I don't want to put a transmission in it. I just want to take the car and return it. That should be on me to make the decision, okay? ACV says no. It's on the seller. We got to see what the seller wants to do. What? So the seller gets to misrepresent a vehicle and then says, yeah, we sold it to him. Okay, yeah, I'm only going to give him $500 for it. What? Are you nuts? If I misrepresent my vehicle to a customer and they come in here, I had to buy it back. Like, what world do we live in that this is okay? Again, like I said, ACV. Share this video with other dealers. If you're in groups, share this video, because if it hasn't happened to them yet, it's going to happen. If you don't believe me, read the arbitration policy now. Just read it. It's a simple read. Carfax, you're going to get it too. Check this out. I want all the smoke. Carfax, big company, right? They're like, oh, we're not Carvana. We don't do those types of things. Here's how come they don't do it. Let me be real with you. Here is how they get around it. I buy a car from them. It says the title is exempt and it's not potential odometer rollback. Again, I want to be clear here. Just because a car is exempt, you are not allowed to roll the clock back. You cannot do that, even with the car being exempt. Yes, is it easier to do? Yes, because the title says exempt. It doesn't show the mileage. So for those criminals that are out there, you're absolutely right. They can take care of that and they can do that. But it's still against the law. Criminals are going to be criminals. It doesn't matter. So I buy this car from CARMAX. I buy this car from CARMAX, and they're like, yeah, it's exempt. The mileage is there's no odometer rollback, no discrepancy. So I get the car. I run, so I have a buyer buying the car, and he goes, oh, I just want to run a Carfax on it. I don't give Carfaxes. So he's like, I'm like, all right. He runs the Carfax. The car has 142,000 miles on the clock. Carfax comes back with 211,000 miles. 200,000 miles. I got 142 on the clock. It's got 211 in the Carfax, okay? From like 2 years ago. So I'm like, hold on, maybe that's wrong. Let me do auto check. I do auto check. Same thing. They're pulling from the same thing. Okay. You know what? Maybe that's still wrong. Let me go back to the last reported before that. Maybe someone hit the wrong number. Maybe they hit 2 instead of 1. Check this out, guys. Back in 2019, the car had 137,000 miles on it. In 2024, when I bought it, it had 142,000 miles on it. I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, well, maybe it was just a grocery getter. Maybe it was just this. Or maybe someone exempted it and rolled it back. Because it was, so the last reported mileage, 137. The car was then rebuilt. It was rebuilt title. And then they went and exempted it. And then all of a sudden, now it's got 142,000 miles on it in 2024. So, in my opinion, guys, so I call CarMax, I call CarMax, and they're like, oh, well, we can't help you. We don't do that. But what we can do is we can call auto check and try to have it removed. They want me to call Carfax and try to have it removed. And I'm like, yo, you want me, just because you could do something doesn't make it right. So you want me to call, first of all, I shouldn't have to call at all. You fucked up. You should have to call. But you want me to call and try to get them to erase the last reported mileage? So when I sell that car to a customer, they think it's 142, but we both know it's 211. Just because you get it erased doesn't mean that it's true. And keep in mind, it's 211. So there's no way that even if you would have to hit all the different numbers. It's not like you just changed a 1 for a 2. You would have to change the first 3, at least first 3 numbers. Wrong. Or at least the first 2 numbers, right? So then they're like, yeah, no, that's just what we do. This is that, the next thing. And I said to the guys, like, so let me get this straight. It's CarMax's policy to allow to sell cars at auction and then let the dealers knowingly put these cars in the street with odometer rollback because the burden doesn't fall on CarMax? I was like, that really seems like national news to me. That seems like something the general public should know. And I might lose my license right now for these 2 videos with ACV and CarMax. But like I said to you before, damn them. I'm not here to make money by screwing people over. I'm not here to do that, guys. The right thing for CarMax and ACV to do is, or should have been, to buy the cars back, okay, buy them back, put potential odometer rollback, and resell them. Then the burden falls on the buyer. So as a buyer, when I buy odometer rollback cars, which I really don't, I don't like those. I'll do salvage cars, but I won't do odometer rollback. You have to announce that it's TMU. The true mileage is unknown for whatever reason. You can put up a Carfax, you come up with whatever BS story you want to come up with. It doesn't matter. But what CarMax is doing right now is they're just selling cars that they know potentially have odometer rollback, and they're selling them to independent dealers. Then the independent dealers are then putting those cars on the street. And then if something happens, the customer doesn't care that you got it from CarMax. The customer only cares if they got it from you. What happens if they attack your license? What happens if they go to, for me, Region 6 and attack my license? What happens if they come after my surety bond? What does that do to my business? That gentleman that was sitting at my desk, he'll never do business with me again. In his head, he thinks that he caught me in a lie. He thinks he caught me in a scam. I don't know that if I could hire a lawyer and sue CarMax because they potentially infringed upon my business. They made me look bad, right? So now word of mouth is the best referral. What happens when that word of mouth is? Oh yeah, don't do business with Loyalty. They roll the clocks back. Oh yeah, I was going to buy a car from Loyalty, and thank God I did a Carfax, because in that Carfax, it was, obviously the car was rolled back. I couldn't be mad at them. I couldn't be mad at those people. I have to be mad at CarMax. CarMax is not doing the right thing. ACV is not doing the right thing. Buyer beware. Guys, I'm sorry. This is something that it pisses me off, man. It pisses me off. They're risking our licenses. They're definitely risking our reputation. Almost dropped the damn phone. So on that note, I'm getting out of here. I'm telling you right now, guys, if you do business with them, great. Just cover your ass. Be ready to run a Carfax right there on the spot. Hit up my boy Jewel. He'll do them for $5 for you. And that's it. All right, we out.